Not yesterday, everybody. I think to some extent it's made out to seem a lot worse than it really was, but it was quite an incident, right? No mistake, and a very, very unusual incident, might I add. You know, I've spent the better part of the last 30 years with elephants in many different countries, in many different circumstances. Elephants that have been affected by poaching, that are very nervous and very aggressive towards vehicles. I've been in places where elephants are very accustomed to vehicles and very, very relaxed around vehicles, and everything in between. And well, every day almost when I'm not working, I'm at home, I'm with elephants, and I have so many experiences with elephant rushing the vehicle or coming towards the vehicle. Often it's mostly strolling towards the vehicle, but sometimes because of different circumstances I've had elephants a little bit upset with vehicles, and so they behave in that manner. They come rushing towards you and then stop and kick sand at you and try and move you off that way. But never before, in hundreds of encounters, thousands of encounters with elephant, have I ever experienced what we experienced yesterday. See if we can get around this marula tree again. This way. Remember, we had elephants and family feeding on this tree. Quite a magic day, that. By no means should anyone infer anything from that incident yesterday in terms of how dangerous these things can be and how unpredictable, or that elephants are likely to do that at a slight moment. If we have to consider the number of vehicles that are out in not only the national parks but also just the private reserves around, not only here around the western edge of Kruger, but also going up through Botswana, Zambia, Malawi, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, you name it, in countries all over the eastern and southern Africa, with all the wildlife areas, there are probably thousands of vehicles out on any one particular day, and I'd say that they're not likely to experience this on a regular basis. I think maybe every few months or so you might find out of all of the vehicles in all of the game reserves, maybe there's been an incident. So I think it was isolated. I can't imagine what got into her. I can't imagine, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I can only begin to imagine what might have triggered that. Look, the little parasol mushrooms. Can you see them? Coming out of the old root of that marula. Something decomposing. Just little parasol mushrooms, about an inch, their caps are about an inch in diameter. Today's going to be a nice day for fungi because of the rain that we had yesterday and the humidity. I've experienced a lot at home, in fact, because of one, you see here in the Sabi Sand there are many different entrances and there's a number of different roads, so it kind of, in a way, lessens the amount of impact on the animals in terms of accessing the reserve for vehicles and people who are not really directly involved in the reserve. Now, I'm not putting blame anywhere, I'm just, by way of explanation, I want to explain what happens in some of these reserves. There are delivery vehicles, there are business vehicles and all sorts of vehicles that drive in and out of the main road. Now back home there is only one road that goes into the Timbavati, and I'm about 40 kilometers down that road, so I do spend a lot of time on that road, and I do encounter a lot of elephants on that road, and I do see how delivery vehicles, trucks, it's not that they misbehave with elephants, They don't know how to behave with elephants. People from the city are naturally scared of them, so they rev their engines and they do a lot of things to try and move elephant off the road. And sometimes they do get upset with them. And I've often received the brunt of that anger with elephants displaying to me, but never before, even though they can be upset with the vehicle. Never before, even though they can be upset with the vehicles. They never have done anything to the vehicles. I can only maybe imagine what might have triggered this and that. Maybe somewhere along the line something happened to her yesterday, or it could have been a year ago for that matter. But something triggered that response. Something triggered that emotion in her, that she wasn't satisfied. Even though we weren't approaching him, I was moving around a bush, and actually the rest of the herd had moved off. There was the one female that had taken the calves, and she was moving away completely from us. And this big old matriarch decided to come back at us. I had a look far to the east onto Quarantine, across the drainage line. I thought I was looking at the zebra in that one little gap. As far as it is, no, maybe not. But that's where we were when we started up looking into those grasses in Quarantine. Really beautiful view from up here on Zoe's Road. And that's the morning mist just lifting from the sun, burning it off. Truly magical morning, start of a new day. Mongoose track.